Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Here on the daily time frame, we can still see that the market is moving just below resistance, so just below the next key level there at 107,605, but above support, which starts at 91,290, and we spend a lot of time currently in between these two levels. And for now, the market hasn't really revealed yet whether it wants to go higher more directly. Possibly towards 130k next. It is still my view that the market should do this. Question is, do we do it from here, or do we need a reset of a larger wave 4, which would then possibly reach lower support around 82k, maybe 75k, maybe 69k. These are the next levels to watch below. And as long as the market holds above the January low, however, we can go with the assumption that a fifth wave up has started already. It's just not very high confidence yet. We've now spent quite a lot of time in the range. Now, I did say today that it is strange. The stock market has done a lot today. Gold has done a lot today. Nasdaq has broken out locally. But for Bitcoin not to do anything, it is a little bit uncommon. It's not unseen. It's not been unseen. You know, we have seen it before, but still a little bit uncertain or why this happened. But yeah, correlations come and go, right? It's just a bit unusual. So it's just extremely boring at the moment in the crypto sector. Now, that's a good reason to look into other stuff, other things. You know, think about your strategies, think about your risk management. Just think about your plan, you know, what you want to do, how you want to trade, when you want to get out of this cycle, how much capital do you hold for the next larger buys, you know, when the crypto sector is, for example, starting to break down, especially Bitcoin could then be an opportunity for larger positions. I personally don't find Bitcoin very attractive at this stage for larger positions on the larger time frame. The risk is simply too high. However, there will be the occasions, probably in the next few months, when there will be larger corrections, and those can lead to opportunities. Yeah, one of those opportunities, or one signal I discussed today in the latest video on our main channel, MCO Global. If you're interested, check it out. I'll link the channel in the description. It's the latest video. It's literally a signal that hasn't failed in the last 5 years. It only appears on the daily time frame, therefore it is not very common. However, if you're interested, check it out. It might help you prepare. It's all about building that toolkit of it's all about to build a toolkit for possible strategies. Now, let's take a look at the shorter time frame here for BTC. This is still the same range that we've been moving within, you know, the last few weeks. The price rallied from the February low. This is the short-term bullish count, short-term bullish scenario. In our yellow scenario, we had a rally in wave 1, have a pullback in wave 2. It's a WXY structure. And then from there, a third wave rally should start. The third wave should be a 5-wave pattern to the upside. I've only labeled the initial 1-2 setup. We've got a wave 1 to the upside. We've got a wave 2 to the downside, and ideally it somehow finds its way higher from here. We've tested support, rallied into resistance, if you want to call it a rally. I mean, Bitcoin isn't doing much, but we are holding above support. I mean, technically on the smaller time frame, the risk is low to the upside. The risk is low to the downside because we're very close to key support. I mean, if really a rally starts from here to 115, 120, 125k, we're now at 96.7k, 93.6 is basically the level below which this outcome would become less likely. Invalidation point is where the red line is positioned here. That's the 3rd of February low at 91,220. I mean, as long as these levels are holding, the focus is on higher prices. I'm just not very confident about a local 1-2 setup on the 15-minute time frame based on, you know, what we've seen kind of throughout the last 10 days. It's really been boring. The price hasn't really done much. No decisive price action. There have been attempts to break out higher. They failed. So we can't really trust these movements. Also here we have a 5-wave move up. Okay. you know, that's the short-term bullish count. The pullback, is it a 3-wave move? I don't know. It doesn't really look like it, but it looks more like 5 waves down. But sometimes on these time frames, we do have 5-wave movements that look like 3-wave movements and the other way around. So I do give the bulls the chance, but we need a break in the first instance above this resistance area, because Bitcoin has now produced, you could say, a 1-2 setup to the downside. Sorry, that needs to sit here actually. A 1-2, and then maybe this is another 1-2 setup. Just need to change the wave degree. That's now the short-term bearish count. I mean, for the short-term bullish count, I told you what needs to hold, what needs to break. From a short-term bearish point of view, you could say wave 1 down, wave 2 up, and then another 1-2 setup to the downside. But I mean, do I believe it? We also had several short trade, or the bears, let's say, the bears had several short trade opportunities and they failed miserably also here in this range. So the market just hasn't decided yet what it wants to do. And all we can do is accept that and then be prepared, but understand that at the moment, you know, the market rallied from micro support into micro resistance. I mean, that's essentially what we want to see. And then this is a resistance area where the price could react and start the next decline. At the same time, a sustained break above 97,519 would shift the probabilities towards the bullish count more. But then there is more to do, more work to do, including a break above the Thursday high that formed here around 98,100. And then breaking above these previous swing highs will be key. But for now, it is a really tight range. I mean, just check out the MCO Global channel. It might keep you busy, because here, I mean, I really hope we see a bit of action in the next few days, because the DXY is breaking down. Yeah, DXY is starting to break down. We talked about that also in one of the last videos on the main channel. I talked about what it means for altcoins. Again, also there is a video on that channel. But yeah, that's something noteworthy. Bitcoin has not been very impressed by the DXY, but the altcoins, obviously, they could really, well, they could do with some, like a bit of a high risk environment. And when the DXY is high, or the dollar value is high, people are less inclined, obviously, to take high risk investments. So for that to come down, that would be something noteworthy. But yeah, we're just witnessing potential break of micro support. So this is just something I posted earlier today on Discord. I haven't got the chart prepared here now, but you see it's coming down and it could take the market into the low $90 region. But for a count, yeah, check out the last video on the MCO Global channel about the DXY. It was the altcoin season video. So overall, what can we do now? We can only get a good understanding of the levels, have our game plan, and there are many ways how this can be traded. Depends on your time frame as well. But I feel that, you know, there is a short trade setup. Yep, a 1-2 setup to the downside. I don't trust it. There is a long trade setup. I trust that a bit more, just because the yellow count is still preferred, because we're still holding above main support, and the movements to the upside have been rather impulsive. The movements to the downside here, especially from this January high, they've been rather corrective. So I am slightly leaning towards the yellow count, but if the price breaks below 93,630, I will not do that anymore, because that would be a bearish signal. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.